before your main code executes. So when somebody visits a URL or performs any action on your site, this piece of code executes before the main code executes. So this is example of let's say this is somebody performing an action, and the middleware will execute before your main code will execute. So normally the action is connected to your main code directly, but this time we want to create a middleware in between the action and our main block of code. For instance, a user fills up a form and clicks submit. That's an action, and then it's supposed to hit our controller. So let's say our controller is here. So have controller, whatever controller, example user controller.php. So before user.controller.php, and this is probably Blade, this is a Blade, let's say signup.blade.php, which essentially is a HTML. So before somebody fills this form, click submit. Normally, if they fill this form and click submit, it should go to user controller and execute one of your methods there that helps to create the user account in database and blah blah blah. Now we want to make sure that when somebody clicks submit, we're going to run a small piece of code which is a middleware before the main code in the controller runs. Example of a code you can run in a middleware is to check if the user is logged in. So another example is to check if the user has the permission to perform what they want to perform. Like in our case now, we want to make sure that only admins can access roles URL. So we'll do here check if user is admin. That is, if a user tries to check anything about roles, we have to first of all check if they are an admin. So Laravel comes complete with a basic middleware. So if you want to see it, you go to app, go to HTTP. I'm going to minimize it. You see middleware. So middleware, you see all the middlewares that came first with Laravel. This one is verified CSRF token. It makes sure that people can't just manipulate your form anyhow on your web page. This one trims strings and password. Look at password, it trims it. Okay, it trims strings except on passwords. This one redirects if a user is authenticated. This is the auth. You understand? Redirects if the user is authenticated. So we need to create another one here that will check if somebody is an admin before letting them to access some route that we want. So example of the usage of the default one that came with Bootstrap is to go to routes, go to web.php, and you'll see that we imported a middleware called auth. This middleware comes default with Laravel, and it means that only people that are logged in can access these routes. So you see we put these four inside this middleware auth. You get what I'm saying? So it makes sure that only people that are logged in can access it. If you try to access any of this, it will throw you out. All right. Now we need to put some of these some more links into to check whether it's an admin. So to create a middleware, first of all, there's a place you can read up about the middlewares on the. If you go to Laravel website, and if you go to Laravel website, search for middleware. Make sure you have your internet connected, and you click on the first one. It will bring you here. Otherwise, you can go to basics and click on middleware. So you read up about middlewares, and this is an example of how to create a middleware. So let us go and create one. We'll copy this. We need to create a command. We need to go to our command prompt, right click and paste. In this case, the one we want to create will be admin or check admin, no matter whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to call it admin or check admin. So I'm just calling it check admin so that the name will be descriptive. You click enter, then you chill. Within a few seconds, it would have created itself. You see, created successfully. Now if we go back to our code and go to app, HTTP, middleware, we'll see that I have to refresh this. We need to refresh. you see check admin has been created. If you click on it, see that basic code has been written for you. Now in the check admin, this line is the line that passes the request. So the action that somebody wants to perform, let's say somebody wants to access a route, the action that they want to, that action of accessing the route or page or viewing the page, this line basically tells it, or continue. Okay, you can continue. So what we want to do is to, first of all, somewhere here, check if the user is an admin. You get if user role ID is less than 3. You get another way we can do it is to say if it is not less than 3, if it is greater than 2, that means they can't access it. We have to redirect them to another URL route and throw an error. So probably we should take them to the home page, you understand, with a message. So let's say redirect redirect home. This route is already created. I'm not just forging it. If we go to our routes and click on web.php, you see that this route already exists. So that's what we're just throwing them to. If your account is greater than, your role ID is greater than 2, that means you're not a moderator, you're not an admin. You should not see this. So but now we're just doing for check admin. We need to also check for moderator. So now we have to be strict with what we're doing. If your ID, your role ID is not equal to 1, period, redirect. We can also create a flash message. We can say flash error, and that error says, sorry, you have no permission to view this. And or we can say more descriptively, only admin can view this page. Then we have to import flash and say use flash. We have to import auth, so we say use auth. I think this works best. So perfectly, check if the user is 100% an admin. If he's not an admin, if the user is not an admin, redirect them and throw an error. If they're an admin, just continue normally as if nothing happened. Now we can use this